Welcome to the second in this series on the SDA plugin for Jenkins. In the previous video we'd created this call Jenkins build generic process to test the submit job and get build status steps. So submitting a Jenkins job from within an SDA process and getting the build status from it. We're now going to extend that functionality somewhat by adding in a switch which will query against the build status from the previous step. So in order to query that value, we're going to specify the property which we're going to query, which is get build status result.build.status. So basically we are saying we're submitting the build job, we're getting the status from the build job, and now we're going to test that build status. I'm just going to make some extra space here, link that up. Now let's create, just for illustration purposes, two shell steps. The first shell step, we shall call this one success. And I'm going to basically echo some information. I'm going to say the build ran fine and just return the result. We'll save that. So that's our shell success step. And we'll produce another shell step for failure. This time the script will be quite similar. The build was unsuccessful, and again we'll echo out the result. Now it's at this point that the switch logic comes into play. So we're going to add a connector here for the failure step and leave that as default. However, for the success step we are going to edit this. We're going to unset the default here, and we're going to say if the value of the property that we're querying is success, then we're going to ensure that there's a success step that's run. Simply link these two steps back to the finish step, completing our process, and we are now ready to run. So let's for the moment envisage we're running a success scenario. And here we can see that all the steps were successful, including that shell step called success. And here we are, we're saying that the build ran fine because the result was a success. Now we want to test the scenario where a failure occurs. So in order to manufacture this scenario, I'm going to submit a build job that does not exist. Now to prepare this, I want to allow for failure here on the get build status step. So it ensures that process now runs through. And what we're going to do as well is we're going to submit a job name. I'm going to call it create hello 2, which does not exist within Jenkins. The other thing we need to do in our process is to obviously get the build status of the create hello 2 job as well, this invisible job. So I'll now save that. We're going to be submitting this build for create hello 2. Just to confirm, within Jenkins I only have a create hello 1 job defined. Going back, we can see that the submit job has failed because create hello 2 does not exist. The get build status has failed. The test build status has worked, however it's determined that there's a failure, and accordingly presents us with a build was unsuccessful. This therefore demonstrates how we can use a switch step within our Jenkins build plugin process flow to determine whether the build itself was successful or not. Switch step can be used in many different scenarios as well, not just calling out a Jenkins plugin step, but any steps, and presents a powerful function for determining process logic. Please do take a look at the associated Getting Started tutorial, which is available on the knowledge base. Thank you for your time.